to the Happy Bet European Darts Matchplay, one of 15 Euro Tour events to have been won by Michael van Gerwen throughout his career. And after missing Jib last time, Mighty Mike returns to the Euro stage once again, having retained his Premier League crown. And he comes back as a World Cup winner once again, too. A field of 48 also includes the man currently at the top of the European Order of Merit, Peter Wright. The defending champion James Wade is here as well, and so too is our most recent Euro Tour winner, Michael Smith. They all get involved tomorrow, but today belongs to the 32 qualifiers. I'm Rob Malarkey, and sharing a seat in our gantry over the walk-on runway and a pretty sizable Hamburg crowd as well is, via Milton Keynes and Dubai, Dan Dawson.
Well, pleasure to be here. Euro Tour action once again, reaching the halfway stage of the European Tour, event 6 of 12 in 2017, and in a time of domestic and international uncertainty, the Euro Tour steadily, strongly, stably plods on. And they don't come much more stable than the Rock, Peter Hudson, as he kicks things off against Northern Ireland's Brendan Dolan, the history maker. A couple of Northern Irishmen in action in the opening couple of games here. 8 matches this afternoon, 8 matches this evening, all fighting it out for a place in the second round when the seeded players, as Rob says, enter the fray tomorrow. 6 sessions of action over the course of this weekend. £25,000 to the winner. But it's been a little while since we've seen either of these guys in the Euro Tour.
First leg, Peter to throw first. Game on!
Hudson v Dolan then to kick off the Happy Bet European Darts Matchplay, both playing in their first Euro Tour event of this year. Peter Hudson's a more recent winner on the Euro Tour than Brendan Dolan. Last time we saw these two was in the final Euro Tour event of last year, German Darts Championship. Brendan went out in round 1.
1 on right 40.
Yeah, and Peter went out in round 2. He lost to Dave Chisnell 6-0 in Hildesheim.
96.
Chizzy is here this weekend. Finalist last year, finalist the year before. This is the 3rd staging of this particular European Tour event. James Wade, the defending champion, beat Chizzy last year.
59.
Michael van Gerwen winning it the year before, beating Chizzy
When it was held in Innsbruck. So we had a change in venue, and we're here for the 2nd year running, and it's a terrific venue as well. It's had a bit of a makeover, a bit of a change as well, change of name. It's got sponsorship rights now. But it's a very impressive venue, and as I said, a very significant turnout here today.
Yeah, you can't actually see, but we've got fans up on the sort of balcony on the far side over Hudson and Dolan's right shoulders as well. You can just see a few of them up there. But imagine what it's going to be like tomorrow, because these lot are making a bit of noise already. Imagine what it's going to be like when Martin Schindler and Max Hopp take the stage, having impressed at the World Cup last weekend.
Very much so. Terrific performance by the host nation. Hopp beating Van Barneveld in an epic encounter.
Brendan may look at the bullseye here.
38. Peter, you require 140.
Make sure he leaves a finish. And he is going to have a go at the 164.
59. Brendan, you require 164.
Well, this would be a great way to start things off on day 1. Dolan taking out 164. But he won't. Beautifully set up, though, if he does return.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on this. 18 for ball. Bullseye for the Rock. And there it is. 1-0 Peter Hudson. It's an 18-darter, but a ball finish.
Game on.
And the 33-year-old from Eccles gets the first leg on the board in the Happy Bet European Darts Matchplay. He's not got a tour card, hasn't had a tour card for a couple of years, Peter Hudson. But he wasn't very far off getting it at the start of this year. And he is a threat. He's won some big games over the course of this year already. Look at some of the players he's beaten.
100.
There we go. Russ Bray just correcting himself there. But yeah, look who he's beaten this year. He's beaten Gerwyn Price, man who's been just been in a World Cup final.
And a UK Open finalist.
And a UK Open final. Gary Anderson, heard of him?
Yeah, rings a bell.
Yeah. Steve West, playing very well. And he had a guy in the UK Open qualifiers, first tournament of the year in the Pro Tour. Peter Hudson went all the way to the semi-finals, his best run in a senior PDC event.
100.
It was strange though, wasn't it? Because after that UK Open semi-final in the qualifiers, there was just nothing to back it up, really.
Not loads. I mean, he's all done all right in the Challenge Tour, but he's not been playing in all of the Pro Tour events. He's had limited opportunities. But in that run to the semi-final, he beat Benito, he beat Mervyn King, he beat Rob Cross, who, I mean, at the time, the first UK Open qualifier, you thought,
looking
back, what a win that was, and what a visit this is. Gets him down to a finish. Real danger of being broken here, Brendan Dolan, and going 2-0 behind.
Yeah, I'll just have to watch his step here, Brendan Dolan. He needs a big visit here. That's a good first start, though. He's got plenty of room over to the other side for a couple more.
Has to go 19s. Yeah.
99.
Good thinking. Level Tom would have left 159. That's a bogey number. Just the 1 point difference in the scores, but 161's a lot harder than 160 to finish. But he might just do it, He's had one bull finish. And it's another! And it's a massive one! Peter Hudson, 12 darter, 161 checkout. What a start, big man.
Absolutely brilliant. Dolan does not know what has hit him here. Dolan was a 9-4 on favourite to win this match at the start of play. Hudson was very much the outsider, but, well, the bookies seem to have got this one wrong on the evidence of the first two legs. That is absolutely sensational stuff. 2 bull checkouts, a 161 following the 88. And already the tournament is alive and kicking.
Look at this.
139.
Very impressive stuff from Peter Hudson. We saw Brendan Dolan's best stuff so far this year back at the start of the year in the UK Open qualifiers as well. He had a couple of quarterfinals, but in much the same vein, and Brendan has been playing all the Pro Tour events, he's not really backed that up. He's had a real tough time over the last couple of years, really, Brendan, from being a top 10 player and a guy who was winning tournaments on a regular basis. And he changed a few things. My word, Peter Hudson, 18s. Yeah, so he's thinking clearly as well. Ton 40 would have left a bogey number, but he's thinking clearly, and he's left another enormous checkout. And with the way he's hitting bullseye, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for it, if he buys in the first 2 trebles.
Well, he's not under any pressure here from Dolan either, so
59. Require 100.
He's got plenty in hand here. Might fancy his chances of taking this one out, but he's missed the first dart anyway, so he will return. But he'll look to set this up just as well as he can. 87 remaining. Nicely done. Absolutely inch perfect once again from Hudson. So much to admire.
Oh, Peter Hudson, 18 darter, bull checkout, 12 darter, massive bull checkout. This is for a 13 darter and a 3-0 lead. A 14 darter will do, and Peter Hudson is absolutely bossing this. He's only beaten Brendan Dolan once in his career. That was last summer, 163 in Barnsley. The other 3 times they've met, Brendan has won. But right now, Peter Hudson is averaging more than 102. And look at this, he's in again.
Yeah, the most recent meeting was in a qualifier for the German Darts Championship earlier this year, which Dolan won 6-3.
Well, Brendan's averaging 93.5, and this is pushing it up. This is pushing it up. The first maximum of the weekend's action.
Cracking encounters to get things going. The crowd are absolutely loving every minute of this.
Well, Brendan should at least get his first dart at double. It's taken 4 legs for that to happen against a frankly rampant Peter Hudson. Oh, now Brendan, he's kicked in. Yeah, very good. Maximum followed by ton 40. Brendan Dolan fighting back strongly.
Well, Hudson won't be panicking just yet. This is on the Dolan throw, but he'll just look to apply some pressure here.
40. Brendan, you require
Yeah, couldn't leave a
44.
finish from there, but he has closed the gap a little bit. Dolan's going to get 2 darts. 12 for double 16, I would imagine. Yeah.
Game show,
very
the
good.
fourth leg.
Yeah, absolutely needed that.
Dolan. Fifth leg, Peter to throw first. Game on.
11 darter from the Northern Irishman. The finishing has been absolutely stunning so far. 3 out of 4 for Hudson. First dart finish there for Brendan Dolan.
80.
Not a million miles away with 2 of those darts, but just the 80 scored. An opportunity for Dolan, but he needs to pound that treble bed.
60.
Throwing quite quickly.
Yeah.
Brendan Dolan there.
Well, you mentioned at the outset, Dan, that this is, well, both players' first match on the European Tour this year, but for Dolan, you know, he made 6 appearances in Europe last year, but I think he only won 1 match in that time as well, so he just hasn't got the winning habit on the European stage, and some might say elsewhere as well. His only quarter-final last year was at the Grand Slam, where he beat Max Hopp and Martin Adams to get out of the group behind Michael van Gerwen. He was then battered by van Gerwen in the quarters anyway.
Yeah, that seemed to suggest
There was something to come.
yeah, that he was working his way back into a bit of form. And again, you know, we saw that at the start of the year, the UK Open qualifiers, where he made a couple of quarterfinals, and you thought, wow, if Brendan gets back to where he was, or even close to it, then he's going to be very dangerous. I mean, he's got a number of PDC titles to his name, 5 in all. And they all came in an 18-month spell.
Yeah.
And he really was a force to be reckoned with. But he has struggled. He did struggle at the World Cup. Of course, the Northern Irish team went out in round 1. He was partnered with Super Chin, Daryl Gurney.
100.
Yeah, match that went the distance. Yeah.
A lot of problems here. Because Peter Hudson is going to get darts for this leg, you feel, for a 4-1 lead. Winner of this will face the Hurricane, Kim Huybrechts. Seeded number 8 here this weekend.
60. Peter, you require 100.
So Hudson here, ton away from a 4-1 lead. Absolutely plumb with the first dart, and
Game
plumb
show,
with the
fifth
second.
leg. Peter Hudson, 6 leg, Brendan to throw
And a
first.
nod of
Game on.
approval from Dan Dawson to my right-hand side after another very neat and tidy checkout from Peter Hudson.
Absolutely textbook, wasn't it? He's still averaging more than 100, the Rock, and his finishing has been sublime. He's 80% right now.
Paul Nicholson made the point just before commentary, just chatting a few moments ago, about a sizable entourage of Peter Hudson this weekend.
96.
And he said he could do with winning this one just to cover his expenses. £2,000 if you make it through to round 2.
59.
Big man, big fan base, it would appear.
Big scores as well. Big averages.
100.
Yeah, still not hit a maximum, Peter Hudson, but 4 140s, same as Brendan Dolan, but 8 tons to hit Brendan's 3. Just regularly finding that treble 20 bed and outscoring the history maker over the course of this game, denying him many chances at doubles. He only had 1 dart at double. Brendan Dolan, he hit it. That's the only leg he's managed to win, and he is under severe pressure in this leg as well.
Well, the winner of this will face Kim Huybrechts in the second round. It was Huybrechts who beat Brendan Dolan in his sole European Tour final. That was in Holland in the Dutch Darts Masters in 2013. But Dolan won't be thinking too much right now about a potential meeting with Huybrechts. He's got a lot of work to do here, starting with a 1-4-3 checkout on his throat.
Well, with the way Peter Hudson's been finishing, especially on the bullseye, he might have to take this out. He's not going to. And Hudson, what? I mean, this is a game-winning shot if this goes in. Surely there's no way back for Brendan if the 164 goes. Not going to happen, though. Brendan on 84 may only get a dart at the bullseye himself.
60.
Not as much pressure as there might have been.
No, and he knows it as well. First sign of frustration from Peter Hudson there. Dolan needs this, though. Can't afford to suffer another break of throw here. Nicely done. Double 11.
62. Base you require 104.
Well, child's play for Peter Hudson. He's not missing any doubles. Just needs to make sure he gets a dart at one here. He's staying on the 19? Well, he was, and I'm not quite sure that was the right decision. When you've got a nice open treble 15 bed he could have gone
63.
for, but then...
Brendan, you require 22.
Brendan, does he split it? Does he go straight at it? I'm not sure he knew himself for a moment there. He's decided to go straight at it, and that is the problem with that.
14.
Well.
You require 41.
Dolan may well look back on that particular decision-making process and see that as a turning point. As for Hudson, double 16 he wants for a 5-1 lead. And once again, it's really eye-catching finishing from Peter Hudson. He's one away from a place in round 2 and a meeting with Kim Huybrechts tomorrow.
Well, that was more about Brendan Dolan missing opportunities than Peter Hudson's brilliance, but that's the we've had so far. Where you can say that.
46.
Brendan's one leg has come with an excellent 11 darter. Everything else Hudson has been bossing. And it looks very much like the former Grand Prix champion
100.
and a former Euro Tour finalist is going to get dumped out in the very first game of the tournament, and he'll be heading back to County Fermanagh while Peter Hudson heads into the second round to face Belgium's top player Kim Huybrechts. Because again, Peter Hudson fires in a 2 treble visit.
$100.
Former world finalist in Andy Hamilton on the way this afternoon against Martin Schindler, part of the German World Cup team. We've got the other member of the German World Cup team, Max Hopp, against Mike De Decker in the penultimate game of this afternoon. The standout match today has to be Adrian Lewis, Vincent van der Voort. That's on the way in the evening session. Oh, and Robin Hood for Brendan Dolan with that last dart, and it hurts him. And this hurts him even more.
81.
Oh, well. He might get away with this anyway. Another Ulsterman on the way as well. Mickey Mantle against debutant Richard North is our second match on stage, but Dolan is just fighting for his life here. That's more like it from Brendan Dolan.
Really require 137.
Oh, lump.
Well, for a little moment there, I thought it was going to be a fanfare finish for Peter Hudson.
81.
Brendan looking at 81. He's not managed to take out anything above 44 in this match. 12 ball. Bullseye. Can't give Hudson a taste of his own medicine. Peter Hudson has missed 1 dart at double in the entire match. This has to go. This is going. It's gone. It is gone. 6-1 Peter Hudson. Brendan Dolan is gone from the tournament.